You understand? Because all the other guys are snatching up all the women and they're like, yo, like, I need me a chick, right? You know, monogamy is basically for guys who don't have game.
All right, I came across this video where this guy was giving his thoughts on monogamy versus polygamy. First, he shows this clip of this expert giving her thoughts on polygamy, and this is what he had to say.
What I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to show you a quick clip from a relationship expert. Her name is Spirit. She does a lot of, good videos. She has a lot of good information on dating, relationships, stuff like that. And in this clip, she's going to be talking about, non-monogamy, you understand? And also talking about monogamy and how, monogamy, came to be in certain situations. But I want to show you this clip. And then once the clip is over, I'm going to give my opinion on this. Check this out.
Do you believe some of us are intrinsically non-monogamous, or do you see this lifestyle as a choice? Okay, so the answer to that question is yes. I believe that intrinsically some of us are non-monogamous. And I will tell you that in my PhD program, I actually did a dissertation on consensual non-monogamy among long-term cohabitating and married African-American couples. And so in doing that research, and it was years worth of research, what I learned is non-monogamy has been, in most parts of the world, commonplace. In fact, monogamy was more of a legal construct and a legal contract that many places and spaces implemented in order to, one, keep men in communities, because what was happening was you had some of the wealthier folks, the kings, the overlords, the folks that could afford to have concubines, they were taking all of the great women. And so what was happening with the men who had lesser opportunity, lesser income, lesser resources, they were frustrated by that because they wanted their own women, they wanted their own families. And so what would happen in many of these places and spaces is that they would simply leave. They'd go, well, you know what? There's no women to be had here. There's no life to be made here. I'm going to go forge out somewhere else and get my own life. And what was happening is two things. One, that meant that the labor force was gone. There were no men in order to build and sustain communities. And two, that meant also that there was no protection because there were no men to guard and protect those communities, so they were vulnerable. And so what happened in many parts of the world is that they said, okay, you know what? We have to make sure that our communities are thriving, that they're safe. And so what we'll do is we'll say, let's come up with an agreement. One man and one woman. That's how we're going to marry. That's how we're going to partner. And then over time, of course, in many areas, as religion started to spread and become a thing, what you saw is religious texts started to talk about marital unions between one man and one woman. So now not only do we have a practical reason for monogamy, but we also have a spiritual reason for monogamy emerging.
So what's interesting is from what I got from this is that, monogamy was basically formed because you had a lot of guys who didn't have any game who needed monogamy to have a woman. You understand? Because all the other guys are snatching up all the women and they're like, yo, like, I need me a chick, right? Monogamy is basically for guys who don't have game.
What the bro? What in the actual bro? So Dwayne Johnson doesn't have no game. Denzel Washington doesn't have no game. Jay-Z, he ain't got no game. Pretty much any dude who decided to get married to one woman doesn't have no game. All because they decided to love and cherish one woman, they ain't got no game. What type of dumbass logic is that? Unless I'm missing something here. Is game like some type of metaphor for power and control? Because that ain't game to me. To me, game is your ability to smooth talk a woman. But if a woman doesn't want to be in a polygamous relationship, it don't matter how good your game is. See, y'all keep bringing up these kings and these sultans, but they had absolute power and control. But she was talking about consensual polygamous relationships. It's not consensual if you were forced to do it. These guys, if they said they wanted a woman, it was going to happen. Those women had to get down or lay down. So I'm not really sure how consensual those poly relationships really were. The problem you guys are going to run into today, and what a lot of you guys fail to realize, is women got free will, and they are as liberated as they ever been. And not all, but most women, they don't want to be in a polygamous relationship. They don't. And you guys are thinking your game is like this magic wand to get women to do whatever you want them to do. Being in a position of power where you can coerce a woman into a polygamous relationship, that ain't game. Hugh Hefner telling a girl she gotta bend over to get the cover of the magazine, that ain't game. A producer telling a chick she gotta make it clap to get this record deal, that ain't game. Y'all got it messed up. Women decide whether they want to be in a polygamous relationship or not you. Let's say you find this bomb ass shorty. You feeling her, she feeling you. Y'all want to spend the rest of your lives together. But before you take that next step, you hit her with the, hey, listen, ma, I'm really feeling you, but I'm gonna need a second wife. What you think about that? And then she hit you with the, hell no, nigga, what you thought this was? Either you gonna leave or she gonna leave. So it don't matter how much game you got, because once a woman tells herself that she is enough for one man, it ain't happening. Now, whether she's enough for one man or not, that's a whole nother story. But when she has it in her head that she's only going to be with one man, you're not going to convince her otherwise. So the first step is finding a woman who is at least open to the idea of polygamy. It's the same thing with threesomes. I was having this conversation with my homeboy one time, and he was like, hey man, how'd you get your girl to give you a threesome? My girl won't ever give me no threesome, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's because your girl ain't into other girls. Get you a girl who's into other girls, and next thing you know, you'll find yourself having threesomes. Some girls are into it, some girls ain't. Sometimes when I bring up threesomes to a girl, they be like, ew, that's disgusting. Other girls be like, cool, let me call my friend. So it doesn't really matter about your game. It depends a lot on the woman. But not all women are into threesomes, just like not all women are into poly.
And see, the whole thing is that monogamy is really for guys who need for that structure to be in place in order for them to have a chance to get a woman. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's really more so for the men, right? Because the women are like, hey, I'll be with this high value dude and I'll share him rather than even wanting to be with this other guy and he can have me all to himself.
Oh my God, the bullshit is strong with this one. Do most women all go for the same guy? Yes. Do some women sometimes concede to the fact that the only way to keep this guy is by allowing him to sleep around from time to time? Sure. But do women want to share that man? No. The answer is overwhelmingly no. So let's not mistake women's willingness to compete for a high value man with their willingness to share him. Those are two different things. You can point out so many different examples of women sharing a man because they felt that they had no other choice or they thought that this is the best that I can do. But how many examples can you provide where the woman genuinely wanted polygamy because that's what they thought is what's best for the relationship? Not many.
So this, monogamous structure was put into place to say, hey, look, let's get, each guy will at least have a woman there for him. So this is more for the guys who, don't have their game on point. You feel what I'm saying?
And bro, if poly's your thing, cool. But don't come out here talking crap about people who ain't on that type of time. You can make your argument for poly without downing people who are into practicing monogamy. And before I go, man, I want to show you guys this man's t-shirts, man. It's some pretty interesting stuff. So let's check it out.
Click the link below and get your bad boy gear.
Get the t-shirts. Submissive women are sexy.
I can get down with that.
Binary as fuck.
What else would you be?
And I'm God to these hoes.
Oh, God. Oh, man. No more internet for me. I need to go ahead and log off. Clearly, this is a man who gets hella submissive women to join his harem. And some even look like women. Alright, I'm done. Let me know what you thought of the video. What points did you agree with? What points did you disagree with? Leave your comments below and let me know what you thought and if you got anything out this video. Hit that like button. This is Agree to Disagree. I'm out.